Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday service of Now Creations. It's always fun to remind you of a lot of things in life, but always the most important one, and that is you have that loving God Spirit at the very center of your being. There is nothing you need more than to be centered and to allow that presence to be at the very center of your life. May you so live today and feel that presence within you. Also, just a reminder, if you have not made a final reservation for the picnic, it's going to be such a wonderful event. It'll be this Saturday. Please let me know by today. And then also tonight, if you're able to join us, very happy to have you for What is Light Body from 7 to 8:30. My dear friends, it continues to be a great joy to share with you these ascending spiritual teachings. Little by little, bit more and more, we continue to really grow in our awareness. In this process of growth, it is wise to understand, just wise to understand that at certain times there is a plateau that has been reached, and we must digest what we have been learning. At such moments, sometimes a lull begins to set in, and then we wonder if we do have more growth to achieve. And sometimes we even feel that we are in charge of our lives, for the moment forgetting that it is the Holy Spirit that is really our guide. It is precisely to these situations where we begin to become a little uncertain of our future growth that I will address in today's teaching entitled, Have You Gotten Stale? Have you gotten stale? Have you entered a cul-de-sac? And where are you going from here? Perhaps being a little uncomfortable for yourself. So I will begin with a description of these stale energies, provide inner direction that you perhaps temporarily forgot, and then, of course, present practical guidance for our future growth. Let's begin. Before I mention the stale energies, let me address a wonderful inspiration that one of our members shared with us in one of our study groups. It was a catchy statement that had a nice rhyme to it. This is the statement. When I begin the day with love, that's what I get more of. When I begin the day with love, that's what I get more of. We could probably just stop right now and meditate on that powerful, powerful statement. When I begin the day with love, that's what I get more of. It's a wonderful statement. However, what we have to do today is to address this notion of stale teachings and trying to lift ourselves out of that little boredom at times. So let's take a look at 4 stale energies that often can weigh us down. See if they apply. First, there are just certain things in life that are, well, no longer quite as meaningful to us. There are just so many restaurants that you can go to and try. There are just so many movies that you have to see. There are just so many trips that you must take. When you finally say to yourself, been there, done that. And then you ask yourself another question, presented in Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. Is there anything new under the sun? It's a good question. Is there anything new under the sun? And even when you do these things with nice people, you find the same old topics that come up. Politics, religion, the state of the world, etc., etc. And then you start saying to yourself, is there anything new under the sun. The second stale energy, boredom. Boredom. Boredom occurs when you begin to feel that you've seen it all and you've done it all. But it hides the nagging question, is there anything new under the sun? With an even more nagging question. Is my life over? Is my life done? It's a nagging question. Not that I'm going to die tomorrow, but there's that sobering question. That sobering question, is there anything that I can still get excited about? Is there something within me that still wants to be alive and seeks to be alive and knows that it is alive? Or is my purpose in life over? There seems to be sometimes a cloud of boredom that enters into our life. There's a wonderfully descriptive word that kind of presents this notion of boredom. The word is ennui, ennui, a feeling of listlessness and dissatisfaction that arises because of a lack of excitement. That there's, well, nothing new under the sun. I would love to say, when I start my day with love, that's what I get more of. But there are two other stale energies that we have to address. The third stale energy is a brief reprieve that at a severe cost. The third stale energy, although it feels good for the moment, the third stale energy is the movement to judgment. Because you are not feeling so good about yourself, it's very easy to start being critical of others. Often the criticism, the judgment knows no bounds. Anyone and everyone is subject to your vituperations, from the normal subjects of politicians, but also to being self-righteous about religion and your view of life. Even your family members are not subject to any kind of getting easy, getting a jail out of free card. And how we sometimes criticize our kids, and especially the way our kids are raising our grandkids. And again, that proverbial question comes out, what is this generation coming to? What is this world coming to? And of course, you love to be with others who whine and complain about the same things, yearning for the good old days. Now the cost. And when, in a sense, it finally dawns on you, you finally realize you're becoming critical of yourself. In your stillness, you're just like everyone else. You have become rigid and inflexible. What's wrong with me? And you begin to honestly realize that the good old days should not be spelled D-A-Y-S, but rather D-A-Z-E. You are in a daze, a D-A-Z-E, and you know it. You're stale. And then the fourth stillness. You have imprisoned yourself. You have created a jail of your own making. You, in your quiet moments, wonder what is going on. And especially you realize that you don't want to go on in this state of staleness, this boredom, and especially being so critical. The good news about the imprisonment is that it is of your own making. And now it enables you to at least know what you don't want. But even more so, and here's where we now want to take off. It is helping you to ask yourself the question, what have I forgot? What have I forgot? What am I missing still? It's not unlike the question that Helen Schuckman and William Thetford asked themselves as they channeled A Course in Miracles. There must be a better way. And what is it? This is pretty much the advice of Eckhart Tolle when he gave us that wonderful notion of the observer self. Every once in a while, you have to become an observer, but especially an observer of your own self. In so doing, in becoming an observer of your own self, you observe these two things. The first is that, well, the world has gotten the better of you again. Again, you fell into the trap. You fell into the ruse that the external things of the world are your oyster. And while they promised you that pearl, all they gave you is more sand in your shoe. And it's more difficult to walk in life. How many times do we have to learn this lesson? So what's the second thing? The second thing that you need to learn, that second thing that you have forgotten, is the following. And once again, A Course in Miracles has come to the rescue. In lesson 165, paragraph 1, the Course states, what makes this world seem real is your denial of the truth that lies beyond it. Let's say that again. What makes this world seem so real is your denial of the truth that lies beyond it. Again and again, we need to address this question. What makes this world seem so real if it is not your denial of the truth that lies beyond it? We forgot this truth, and we also forgot the answer. We also forgot the answer that the Course gives to the question when it states, what could keep you from what you already have? What could keep you from what you already have except your choice to see it not, denying that it is there? What could keep you from what you already have except your choice to deny it, to just not see what's there? Is that what happened to you? Is that why perhaps maybe you failed to recognize these two things? First, I failed to recognize what I already have. Failed to recognize what I got. It's not that I don't know what I have, but oftentimes I just don't put what I know into practice. So let me give you a phrase that can be very helpful to you. It's a 4-word phrase. From instruction to validation. It's one of my favorites. From instruction to validation. The phrase is so helpful because it provides a boost to move us from what we know, instruction, to putting it into practice, validation. We clearly understand that knowing is one thing, but expression, putting it into practice, is quite another. We often ask ourselves, well, why do I forget this at times? I know better, but why don't I do better? You become stale again. You become stale again. Well, why? Why does this happen? You know the answer. The reason why you, even when you know better, but do not do better, the reason is because I don't start my day with love. And when I don't start my day with love, that's what I get less of. You become stale again. And you know the rest of the answer. It's not just starting the day with love, but living the day in love, following our 7 spiritual practices. Yes, of course, life gets in the way until you desire to make your spiritual practice the way of your life. Life will always get in the way until you make the decision to allow your spiritual practice to be your way and stop denying it. This is such a powerful truth and leads to the second point of the instruction from A Course in Miracles. The first part of the teaching was that you have everything you need by way of your spiritual awareness. The second part now, you have the choice to see it or to deny that it is there. Now, don't punk out on me. Now, don't say you don't notice. Either you see it, make a choice to see it, or you're denying that it's there. These words, that it is your choice to recognize the presence within you or to deny it, are words that are hard to hear sometimes. But while they may be difficult to hear, they are the truth. You have heard many, 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 many times that you are freely creating your own reality. What we have to clearly understand is that when you bring your reality into focus in your life, you're the one making the choice as to what you're going to do. This notion that the choice is yours has not been something that has worked out very well at times. As much as you hate, detest having someone else tell you what to do, and you rebel against that. But when someone says, well, you know, it's up to you, the choice is yours, what do you end up doing? You hem, you haw, you procrastinate. Your mind comes into play, and you really want to follow this spiritual path? Is this the path for you right here, right now? And then you become stale again. Oh, of course, you rationalize, you justify, you move to judgment, but eventually, you end up really being disappointed in yourself. So let's get over this repeated stalemate. And let me suggest to you 3 things to do. It's not a matter of not knowing these things, but rather we have to take them a little more seriously. And then after these 3 things, I will add a summary statement. The first thing, now you know what I'm going to say. I need to be consistent in my daily spiritual practices. Of course, you know that this is just the most important thing. It's not so much that we don't know this, but it's a matter of practicing your practice. So let me give you a little uplift to your daily practice in these words. Now listen closely. You know the phrase, practice makes perfect. But what you might not know is the phrase that perfect makes practice. And what I mean by this is that the more you practice your spiritual perfection, the more your spiritual perfection will raise the quality of your daily practices. Did you get that? The more you practice spiritual perfection, the more that spiritual perfection will increase the quality of your daily practices. You want to grow into that loving presence. This is why it's so important to start the day with love and then continue the day in spiritual perfection. Or when I start the day with love, that's what I seem to get more of. Which leads to the second point, which again reinforces the phrase that instruction leads to validation. Or as I like to say, put your instruction to the test. Listen closely again. Does it make sense? Does it make sense to be attentive to the God Spirit within you, to start your day with love so you can get more of it? Does it feel right? Oh, yes. It feels terrific, Vince. Love that. Love that. Feel that presence within me all the time. Does it stop you from making these nasty judgments about other people? That'd be a big help, too. That doesn't feel right to be nasty and judgmental. And does it work? Does it work? Does it fill your day with love? Honestly, why would you do anything else? Now, honestly, why would you do anything else when you already have the truth that is within you? Being Italian, at least in my nationality, there's a wonderful phrase we have that is helpful to understand this. The phrase is capitosta, which means hard-headed. How many times do you have to bang your head against the harder wall of life until you learn that when you give love, that's what you give more of? Stubborn. I know better. You're stale. Third point. The third point has a base fact and then a lived practice. The base fact is that we humans have a shared identity. We have a shared identity. Too quickly, we look to our soul's individuality and forget the spiritual oneness at the very center of our beings. And we must come to realize that we are not just dealing with the restoration of ourselves, but also with the restoration of humanity to live in a more elevated way. Basically, for us, that means joining with others, as we're doing right now, just joining with others and living this way. As I mentioned in last week's teaching, the way of rugged spiritual individualism is over. It is up to you. It's up to you to soften that rugged heart and to reach out to others. This is not easy to do. And so many of you have found this difficult, especially in social situations, until you begin to realize that we're all part of one family. We all have gifts to offer each other. And what blessings we can become to each other. Don't be so hard-headed. In conclusion, as I promised, let me now give you a summary statement of overcoming staleness. The statement is this, as simply as I can say. I'm doing the right thing because the Holy Spirit has become the guide of my life. I'm following the wisdom of the Holy Spirit. That's where the excitement is. That's what's new under the sun, not the stuff under the sun, but the wonderful spirit that we are in under the sun. And more, I know that goodness I have within me, and that goodness from within, that's what gives me the excitement. I am no longer denying it. I know what I have. I'm no longer denying it. I have stopped becoming stale. And I'm very happy to share with others who also realize that when we start our day with love, that's what we get more of. That is a catchy phrase because it's the truth. Let me now take you into meditation. Again, what a joy to do so. Let us begin again by simply following the breath. Just nice, easy breathing. Just breathing in, breathing out, and allowing that presence within us to come forward, allowing the breath to bring it out, relaxing our body, settling our mind, and bringing you forward. Please begin. It is easy. It is easy to think that the world is over. My life is over because I can't do all the things I used to do. and forgetting and forgetting the most important aspect of life. It's just very easy to become stale. Ennui, easy to say, listless. Well, there's nothing new under the sun. Been there, done that. And that's right, there's nothing new outside of you under the sun. The newness is within you. Now be honest with yourself. Right now, when I said the newness is within you, do you not feel it? Just be honest. Do you not feel that? You have to remember what you forgot. We forgot that the newness is within us. You already have what you need. Stop denying the world within you. That's what happens when you become stale. You keep looking outside of you for what isn't there and disregard that which is within you that is there. Okay, you have everything you need. You have the love of God within you. So put this lovely phrase to the test. Now try it. When I start the day with love, that's what I get more. Now try it. Just before you get out of bed in the morning, just make up your mind. I'm going to begin my day with love. Going to maintain this energy. And then just see what happens. So on your way to the bathroom, having just gotten out of bed, don't say, oh, I have this ache, I have this pain. Just repeat the mantra. When I start my day with love, that's when I get more. The smile to yourself in the mirror when you go to brush your teeth and wash your face would help. I hope my voice will haunt you tomorrow morning. Okay, Vince said to smile. Okay, I'm going to smile. We'll just see what happens. And be thankful for breakfast. And then see what happens as you maintain your spiritual practices throughout the course of the day. Put it to the test. Just put it to the test. Is your day better when you started with a loving understanding of yourself and others? And is that what you then seem to get more of? Support it with meditation and some exercise. Or some people aren't very nice. That's what you have that go-to phrase for. Realize it's their problem, not yours. And then, let's try it. Just try it. Reach out a little. Reach out. It might be to a neighbor, might be at the grocery store, one of your kids, grandkids, a friend. Just I'm thinking of you. And just tell them how much you love them, care for them. I've been teaching a new mantra in our classes. I'm in the flow of the loving presence, and the Holy Spirit is my guide. You might want to say that a few times. I am in the flow of the loving presence, and the Holy Spirit is my guide. You are what's new under the sun. As you go about creating the good, the beautiful, and the holy. It really is a catchy phrase. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more. Is that not the law of attraction? Okay, you should be feeling pretty good by now. You are that wonderful spirit. Now you're remembering what you have. It doesn't feel wonderful. It does make us happy. And in that happiness, let me just invite you to return back to your breath. Just happy to be you, child of God, loving presence in the flow. Then as you do so, just gently breathing your eyes open. It is a terrific little phrase, isn't it? Not unlike the one we like to conclude with. I am an eternal being of light and love. Thus, only good can come to me, and only good can come from me. And we are eternal beings of light and love. Thus, only good can come to us, and only good can come from us. Namaste. What fun.